Yes, how are you? How are you? How are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Uh, we are back again. The viewers of Mwigito TV, I know that you missed us. My name is Geoffrey, as you call me Jeff Borough. And I know my name keeps on showing on the screen. So most of the people and the viewers, I know that you know me. First of all is to say we have not been together for quite some time. But today we are here. Today we are here. And I have not come to make any formal presentation. Uh, I've just come to tell you that we are back. We have been away for quite some time. The last time when I was in the studio, I told you that there are some things we are doing to ensure that we are consistent and to ensure that all the time we shall be having the shows. And now I would like to let you know that actually we are on the final stages. And on this week, we are finalizing everything that we said we would do to ensure that we'll be having people bringing the shows that you love most in the Mwigitio TV. And thank you so much for bearing with us. Thank you so much for being patient. Everything good requires a lot of concentration and a lot of work. We have been working to ensure that we are bringing you all the shows that you love without failing, and to ensure that we maintain the consistency that is required. So, thank you so much, the viewers of Mwigitio TV. I know you have been missing us, just as I have been missing you so much. And today, I don't have much I want to say, but I may say one or two things. First of all, to the Kenyans about the just concluded general elections. I have to tell you kudos, congratulations. You did a good job. You went out, you voted, and now we have the president, President William Samoei Ruto, who is the commander of the armed forces of Kenya. I keep on telling people that if Ruto is the president today, then anybody can become anything through this, determination, through hard work, and through trusting God. When I see Ruto as the president, I say for sure there is God in heaven. Because without the help of God, I don't see how he would have become the president of Kenya. Everything was set and designed to work against him. But today, because he took heart courageously, he confronted all the obstacles, and even those who did not believe in him started believing in him because of the courage that he had. He was able to convince people that surely I am not joking. I am serious about what I want to do. And he kept saying, I'll become the president. I sometimes tell people there is power when you confront your challenges with confidence and with faith, and you say it. So I was saying, if Ruto is the president, then there is God in heaven. Thank you so much, those that are joining. Let us talk about it. Because it is good to reflect where we have come from. It is good also to celebrate when we are supposed to celebrate. And it's also good to learn something out of a process. So I was saying, if Ruto is the president and the deep state and the system and the president and all the power of people and all the institutions of the government were against him in the Republic of Kenya, then that man is not an ordinary person. That man is not an ordinary person. I've been following the politics of Kenya and what has been happening. I love politics. I love politics. And that's why I would like to just go through some of the observations and what was happening, just to jog your mind and to let you also know where we are heading to. Maybe there are things that passed and you didn't know what was going on and all those processes. It is good we talk about those things. They are part of our country. But I thank God and I thank Kenyans that we conducted our elections peacefully. And after that, we kept peace. So every Kenyan, wherever you are, I would like to tell you, thank you so much for maintaining peace. President, the moment somebody has been voted in as the president, that person does not become a president of those who voted for him. Because there are people right now who are feeling that this is my president, and others are feeling that this is not my president because I did not vote for him. No, the designers of the Constitution or the process of democracy, the way it's supposed to work is that people go, they vote for whoever they want, and after somebody has been voted in, he becomes a leader or a president of all the people, those who voted for him and those who did not vote for him. So today, Ruto is not the president of Kenya Kwanza. He is the president of the nation or of the Republic of Kenya. And the moment we understand that, all of us, those that are still grieving because of the loss, you felt that because your candidate has lost, I have also lost. And you feel that you really don't feel like moving on, or you don't even feel the sense of belonging. You feel like you don't belong to Kenya because the one you wanted did not win. It is not supposed to be like that. The moment somebody has been voted in, that person becomes our president, not the president of those who voted for him. And that is what most of our leaders or our political class does not want Kenyans to know. We don't teach our electorate to embrace whoever has been elected. Then that is not something very good. It is not something that is present for the nation, that people keep on trusting that this president who won is not my president, so I'm waiting for him to finish and go home because he's not my president. So it should be the desire of everybody, every Kenyan, of goodwill. It should be your prayer that the administration that we have performs well. If the president and his team, those that are going to serve together with him, the cabinet secretaries, the members of parliament, and all other leaders that have been elected, the judiciary, the parliament, and all others, if they perform well and succeed and deliver services to the people, we should all be happy about that. And that should be the desire of each one of us. So I was saying, back to the statement, I just wanted to say that we have seen the many things. You know, sometimes I tell people, it is good people to talk so that they can reason together. Everybody witnessed what was going in Kenya. That because the previous administration took side and decided to support Azimio. They decided to fight the deputy president. They decided to fight him so much that now he has become the president. They are wondering whether to remain in Kenya or to run away. We normally say, if you are digging a pit, be careful that you may not enter in that pit. If you are wishing bad things to other people, be careful that those things may not turn against you. So we should learn something out of this. We saw the president fighting his deputy so hard, and he believed there is no way he can become the president. And that is why they were even denying him chance to address the people on national days, like the Jamhuri, like the Madaraka Day. He is there. He's not given chance. They ignore him. We saw people refusing just to shake hand, just being gentle and saying, oh, though I don't like him, he is a deputy president. We were voted together. You shake hands with all other people, but you skip the deputy president. Some of those things were happening, and we saw them, but we could not do anything. We could not do anything. We had no power. But from now henceforth, I think our politicians have learned that when you are doing things because you have the power to do them, be careful that those things might not turn against you. Because I don't know, where is Matiang'i now? Who was going out of his way completely? You go out of your way and you direct all the systems of security towards fighting the deputy president. He was the deputy president. He was not the president. It is always good to have a second thought and ask yourself, what if? And that is what I was taught. That is always good to ask yourself the question, what if? Now, what Matiang'i was not asking himself before directing the police and doing all those unnecessary audits and trying to embarrass the deputy president, what he was not doing together with the other investigative authorities, we all saw what was happening. The DCI, the KRA, what they were not doing was to ask themselves, what if we do all these things and then the people that we are fighting, the people that we are jailing, they occupy the office? What if? Always, when you are doing something, ask yourself, what if this thing I'm doing does not work the way I may want? What will be the consequences? It is only that Ruto has a heart of God, and maybe, as he has said, he is not going to take vengeance. He is not going to fight anyone. And he told people, don't worry, I am going to be to forgive everybody. That's a good thing. But what if he was not that kind of a person? After you did everything you did, where would you be? I was asking myself, I watched a clip. It is good to learn something out of what happened. I watched a clip where the police arrested the now current deputy president, Gachagua. After arresting him, he was just having the boxer. They dragged him in the house in front of his children. After that, when they went to the station, they locked him in a room that was having mesh wire on top. It was like a cage that you can put a dog inside there. Now, I was asking myself, the police and the leaders who led that team to go and arrest this person, how are they feeling now that the same guy has become the deputy president? Are they afraid? Because they have a reason to be afraid, because there are some things you cannot do to an elected leader, not even to an elected leader. We expect even the criminals to be handled with dignity and let the law take its course. Sometimes it perplexes me when I see our police taking the law into their hands, beating people, flogging people. It is not supposed to be like that. And it's the high time we start rethinking and restructuring the way we do things. That human rights should always be observed, regardless of whom are you handling, whether a leader or not a leader, should be handled with dignity. If somebody has not been prosecuted, if somebody has not been declared guilty, if you have not even gone through the court process, why are you slapping that person? Why are you beating that person? If that person is not fighting you, if that person is not a threat to you, why are you fighting with that person? That is not what we are expecting. So the level of brutality that we saw during the campaign period, whereby because this person is not in the government or is not favored by the government, you go to the extent of even throwing tear gas, even to the church. He is coming to this church. You don't even remember that this is the house of God. You go there, you unleash terror, you throw tear gas, even in the church, simply because the person who is coming is from the other side or is not wanted by your boss. Why do you have to do that? Let me tell you something. Because God has given brain and the capacity to reason to all human beings. You can be ordered by your boss, whoever your boss may be, to go and do something wrong. But because you have your own brain, if you do exactly what you were told to go and do, don't think that God will only hold the sender accountable. You also, you be held accountable. Because why did you do that? If you are told by somebody, don't go and kill so and so because I don't like that person, then you go and kill. Do you think that God will say, you will go before God or before people or before the court and say, I did it because I was sent? And you think that is justifiable? Where am I trying to drive this point? Is to the police who behaved in a manner that was questionable. You go and throw tear gas, even in the church. And you think it is okay, it is justifiable. You say, oh, it is not me. It was my boss who told me to go and do it. And you think it is justifiable before God. I would like people, if you know at least, because at least I understand how spiritual things work. I would like you to look at the life of those who did that kind of an act of throwing tear gas in the church. You look at their lives. And that is when you know that the people are held accountable individually for their mistakes. I was telling some people, even when we were in school, don't do things because everybody is doing it. Because when people are in the group, sometimes they become excited and they say, we go, we go. Before you go, ask yourself, where am I going? Why am I going? Why am I doing what I'm doing? and what will be the lifetime consequences of what I am doing. Because people may not question you. People may not question you. People may not even know that you are there. But can I tell you something? There is God. And God always holds people accountable for their actions. God hold people accountable for each and every action that they do. Whether you did it because of others, God created you alone, gave you your own brain to reason and to think. So you will not say, oh, I did it because we were in demonstration. Some people don't have jobs today because of the things they did as a group in school. You found that lame person who cannot walk because you were in a group, you kicked him, you beat him. You went and broke somebody's shop because you were in a group. And now, after that, you expect that your life will be normal. It doesn't work that way. God makes sure that we pay for all the things we do. So, though the government of William Ruto, they have said they are not going to revenge for anything that was done, it doesn't just work like that to God unless you really repent and know that what I did was wrong. I don't try to justify what is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. And unless somebody becomes sorrowful after seeing his mistake and break totally before God, their lives don't remain the same again after doing some of the things that people do because of politics, because of hatred, because of vengeance. So we should always have personal limits. So we have seen so many things happening, especially after during and after, or before, during and after they just concluded elections. And we should run so many things. And as I said, for sure, Kenyans, you did us proud. And it's my prayer that we shall remain that way forever, without fighting because of the outcome of elections. The mandate of the leader who has been in is only for 5 years. After 5 years, if he has not performed well, we, the people, we have the latitude. We have the freedom to say, no, William Ruto, you did not work well for us. We had high expectations of you. You did not live to the expectation of the people. You did not fulfill the promises that you made to the people. So we are sending you packing after 5 years. And if Baba, he is not my father, let me not call him Baba. If Raila Odinga will still be strong enough, he has another chance after 5 years to come back. If you want to vote for him, you vote for him. And that is democracy. And I was telling people somewhere, because I heard people saying, it seems, and some people are very bitter. And this narrative that is being spread by the politicians of that it is people from 2 tribes that have been ruling the nation for all this time, and they try to incite the public. And I was asking myself, yes, President Uhuru Kenyatta has just concluded his term, but was Uhuru ruling on my behalf? If I have an ambition of becoming the president of Kenya, and maybe I've been working towards that for a long time, should I say because Uhuru was a Kikuyu like me, then he ruled on my behalf? He was just pursuing his career. He was pursuing his dreams. So it's my desire that one day Kenya, we shall not be seeing ourselves in terms of this tribe versus that tribe. Because if we continue like that, if we continue voting for people because they belong to our tribes, then we will be at a risk of one day being ruled by an idiot. Because if you only vote somebody because this is from your tribe, it means you're gonna ignore all other important factors. You not care whether this person is reasonable. You not think even much about his state of the mind, whether this person is an intellectual or not. You not care about his track record. You will not care about the agenda that he has, so long as this person belongs to my tribe. So that is why we are at a risk if we don't change the kind of politics of our nation as the Republic of Kenya. We are at a risk of being overtaken by a country like Tanzania. Because in Tanzania, they don't care about tribes. They don't think about tribes so much that this one speaks like me, so I think he is better. I don't think that should be the reason why we vote people. But unfortunately, those are some of the factors that we consider. But I also want to say, apart from saying that nobody rules on behalf of others, you cannot tell me or tell somebody or tell that child who is working very hard and is very ambitious to become the president tomorrow that you cannot become the president because so and so was from your tribe and he became on your behalf. No, that's not how democracy works. Unless we change the system of electing our leaders, anybody is free to become whoever they want to become, so long as the system of electing our leaders is based on democracy. And democracy is the rule of the majority. The person who has been in a position to convince many people to vote for him, that is the person who becomes the president of that nation or of any group, so long as it is democracy. It is the rule of the majority. And everybody should respect the system and the law that is there. And nobody should incite people. You should not even dare. And this is why I say sometimes our institutions that have the mandate to ensure nobody is inciting the public, they don't work. Because if leaders talk recklessly and nobody is holding them accountable, telling them, no, you spoke this in the public, and it's likely to generate some heat and bring conflict in the nation, and steps taken against such people will not learn. And our nation will continue uh, being in the state of suspending the law and people behaving like hooligans. I hate hooliganism. It doesn't matter how I feel. I may be so bitter, but that does not mean I should suspend the law and do things my own way. No. I was telling some people somewhere, I had somebody saying now about the issue of the judiciary. Before I even get there, I had somebody saying, I think this was Raila Odinga, but I know he didn't mean it. But we should discourage such kind of talks. When he's saying this judiciary did not apply or did not give us justice. And then you say to them, shame on you. Then you say, we can lead a 1 million march, people to go and kick those people out. You are telling us suspend the law, and then we take the law on our hands to go and do things in an informal way. Then on the other side or on the other hand, you tell us that you believe in the rule of law. That to me, that's hypocritical. How can somebody make such a statement that, you know, I have the power and we have the power to lead a 1 million to the Supreme Court to go and kick those people out? And I was asking myself, and this is why I tell Kenyans, before you follow these politicians, always think and think critically. Just the other day, the same Supreme Court ruled on the favor of Raila Odinga. In 2017, they said the process was not transparent. The process was not effective and efficient. And they said, Chebukati, go conduct another election. That time, the whole brigade of ODM, they went on the street celebrating and saying how effective and how much hope we have for the judiciary is doing its work. For the judiciary is performing very well. They say now we have trust with our courts. They said the only hope now we have is the judiciary. But now, because the same court has said no, the evidence that was presented was not adequate enough, did not prove beyond reasonable doubt that the presidential election should be nullified. We don't see the reason. The same person who was praising judiciary is now telling us, shame on you, judiciary. You are not effective. Calling judiciary all manner of names. That is double speak. You don't know what you are doing. That is not supposed to be like that. The judiciary, if they rule on your favor, it's okay, you celebrate. Even when they don't, when you are taking the case to them, you knew the outcome. It might be they will rule on your favor or they might rule against you. And you don't have the latitude of saying no, because that is the final court that we have. We as the people of Kenya have given to ourselves. And everybody should not just agree, but should live with the judgment that the judiciary has made. Yes, you can say, okay, that is not what I was expecting. But anyway, because I know you are following, I was asking myself, I am not a judge, but I listened to all the submissions. I followed the whole petition, the lawyers when they were arguing their cases. And I wondered for sure, because the law says that he who is must prove. Do you know what that means? You must take the evidence. You are saying that the elections has been stolen. Okay, prove. You don't prove by taking forged documents. That was one of the mistakes. And I remember very well the IEBC, this guy called Mahat Somane. He was able to prove very well that the documents the petitioners have presented before the Supreme Court, not the elders court, the Supreme Court, the documents were forged. And you know, that is what pissed off the judges. That is why even during the ruling, the same judges that nullified Ruto's case, even during the judgment, they used very strong words because they were pissed off. It's only that in Kenya, maybe we are supposed to recheck or to revisit some of the way we have structured our roles. Because in some places, if you present forged documents in the court of law, they don't even wait. You are arrested there and there after it has been proved that you are trying to write to the court. Steps are taken against you. So even if I was the judge and I wanted to help Raila Odinga, then the lawyers take or bring before me. And you know, this is a serious case. We had international observers from all over the world. They were there listening. They were there when the documents were being presented. And they saw the lawyers showing forged documents, the lawyers trying to give the court some mathematics that don't add up, and still you say the court was not fair. That was the first mistake. They presented forged documents, and the IEBC lawyers were able to show it, and they show it very well. And I'm not saying this because I have any problem with anybody, but it is because I have listened to leaders misleading the nation that, do you know what, the court was not fair. Remember this person, they are calling all manner of names. Mother Koome, one was actually, if you are able to follow the politics of our nation, she was fronted so much by Uhuru Kenyatta to become the CJ. Uhuru Kenyatta really wanted her to become. And not only that, this Mother Koome, when Raila Odinga was arrested and jailed without trial, she was fighting for Raila Odinga to be released. She volunteered to become his lawyer, and she was fighting for Raila Odinga. So there was no way you can say that she wanted Ruto. No. It is because the evidence and the documents and everything they presented was not having merit. It is because they presented forged documents in the court of law. In the final court of law, how do you present forged documents? If I was a judge, I think they just decided to be lenient. I would have ordered investigation and proper investigation, and I would have jailed some people, because that portrayed our nation in a bad light, that people can just go fake documents. You know, the moment you go and try to forge a document, and then you forget, first of all, to call your agents to see if they can deny what they had written. Because the process to ensure the security features and the signatures, there are so many, you can't just forge documents anyhow. So it is not a good thing. It was a bad thing, and the IEBC was able to show that what the Azimio team presented were forged documents, and they knew exactly, because they were not sure. You are saying it was stolen. Okay, tell us how, where. I heard on the public rallies, people were saying everywhere they were fake polling stations. But do you know what? When they went to the court, none of them said about it. Nobody talked about it. But on the press conferences, they are saying there were around 5,000 fake polling stations. And they convinced the public. And everybody who believes in our politicians, even now they believe that there were forged or there were fake polling stations. There was nothing. If it was true what they were saying, why didn't they talk about it at the Supreme Court? So I would like Kenyans to know that the election was conducted in a free and fair manner. And it is the high time that everybody in Kenya should start telling people and talking the truth. You know, I hate the way our leaders give half truth. They have a lot of lies. They must lie to their supporters so that their supporters can continue following them, not knowing where they are being taken. If somebody says there were 5,000 polling stations, why didn't they talk about it when they went to the court? Ask yourself. The other mistake they made, they said, okay, we want the court to rule or to order the IEBC to give us the ballot boxes for 45 polling stations. Okay, the judges ruled on their favor. They said, okay, you want to scrutinize 45 polling stations? Give us the list. The judges thought these people, they know what they're looking for. They must be having information that there is something happened in these 45 polling stations. So the judges were waiting after the scrutiny to see where were the irregularities, to see what happened, what are they looking for in these 45 polling stations. They were given the permission to do it. They counted and they went through the ballot papers one by one, one by one. They spent day and night. To me, it's like if they were telling the court, we don't know what we are looking for, but we want the court to help us to get the evidence. That is not how it operates. I think the judiciary was so lenient by allowing them to scrutinize all those polling stations before asking them, do you have information of something that happened? What are you suspicious of in those polling stations? Okay, they went through them. They went through them, all of them. All of them tallied. There was no question about it. What the IEBC had said, it was what they found. And I'm asking myself, if I was a judge, what would I have done? The judges wanted to help them. Go through those ballot boxes, count one by one, check everything. Then if you find irregularities, come back here and report to us, and we are going to take action. They found nothing. If I was the judge, if you were the judge, what would you have done? You would have just dismissed the case because there was no case there. Then I heard people talk about, I like telling people the truth. I heard people talking about the 27 polling stations that were not announced. And I followed the petition, I followed the hearing. And the IEBC explained very well. We had already tallied the 27 of them. We had finished everything. The result was there. And the professor was going to announce. And the Azimio team captured the professor. They attacked the professor. They beat the professor. They kicked the professor. They chased the professor away. What did you want him to do? And this, and the other thing which is logical and which Kenyans should ask themselves, if everything has been tallied and they have found that we have 100 votes, even if it is not announced, it will remain still 100 votes. So the figure of what people voted will not change because you have stopped the process from taking place. It will not change because you have chased the person who was going to announce. Then after you have refused the IEBC to announce the result, then you go to court with that as a reason. And that is why the judges were like, okay, we will not talk more about that because this, I'm telling you the things that the judges cannot tell you. Because we say in law that you have to prove beyond, it has to be not just beyond, not just at the normal level, but it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. Now we are doubting them because they did not want the 27 polling stations to be announced. Now, what did you want the IEBC to do? And I think that is what the judges were asking themselves. You stop the process, then you come to the court and tell us the process did not take place. What did you want them to do? But the process, though it was not announced by anybody through the word of mouth, it was already there on the system. It was put there. There was no question about it. There was no question about it. So by stopping the process, you cannot change the figures. So it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. What are you telling us? Is it beyond reasonable doubt? When we think about what you are saying, are we having doubts of the merit of what you are saying? Those are some of the considerations that judges make. So, and I would like you to look at the composition. And the reason why the Azimio team had a lot of confidence that the court is going to rule on their favor is because they thought the court is going to become political. So they looked at the composition. Oh, Joki Dongo, she has ruled the other previous cases. She was trying to rule so much on the favor, or okay, I'm not saying she has been biased, but she has always ruled on the favor of the president. Mother Kome, she was a lawyer to Raila Odinga. Even and the other judges were there when they nullified the 2017 elections. So they were saying, we have the number even in the judiciary. So they did not bother to get concrete evidence. Then they start talking about the 4 dissenting commissioners. And I don't know, maybe God was working against them. The 4 commissioners, they made the brother because they gave figures. They gave figures with a lot of confidence. But those figures did not add up. When you say that 0.01% of 14 million is 144,000, surely. Well, I don't want to sound rude, but after you have done that publicly, and everybody is watching to know why you have dissented, why you have a problem with the chairperson, then you say it is because the chairperson did not announce the correct results. Okay, give us the figures. What was wrong? And she said what was wrong is there was problem with counting because the votes went above 100%. And she said that 0.01% is equivalent to 142,000 votes. Surely. Was she not even having somebody to advise her before she made that announcement? What do you want the judges to do? Then you tell the judges, okay, we were not involved. And I would like Kenyans to be critical and to be logical. You tell the judges, we were not involved in the process. We were doing other things. But the cameras are there. They are showing you very busy doing the tallying, scrutinizing the documents. The cameras are there. They forgot that they have cameras everywhere. In the IEBC, everything that takes place there are cameras showing everything. Not only the cameras, the national media stations are there, international media stations are there. Then you go right to the court that we were not involved. We were given other things to do. Others were in the kitchen. Others were in the IT. Then the judges are, whom do you think we are that you are lying to us, though we are supposed to rely on what you are telling us, but why are you lying to the court? Surely. Even if anybody wanted to help Raila Odinga in that petition, there was no way it would have gone through. There was no way. I am telling you the truth. There was no way, because they did not prove. Not even beyond reasonable doubt. There was nothing. And I was challenging some people. Can you tell me something substantial that these people have mentioned in the court? There was nothing. So before you say the election was not fair, it is always good to know what you are saying, because we are misleading the people. Because the moment we always fight the leaders, like now I saw how this Chebukati has been fought by Azimio so much. And the man has to keep on saying, I have not been bribed by anybody. almost swearing with God, I have not received anything. Chebukati is a godly man. And do you know what? This Chebukati, many people don't know who is Chebukati. Chebukati, before becoming the chairperson of the IEBC, was a member of ODM. In fact, he was being fronted by the ODM to become the chairperson of IEBC. In fact, Chebukati at one time ran for a member of parliament as an MP of Sabaot under the ticket of ODM. So how come somebody who was your member, somebody who ran for a political office under your party, now you are saying he has rigged me out? If anything, if Chebukati wanted to rig somebody, he would have rigged Ruto, not Raila Odinga. He was his member. He was fronted by ODM. And they made sure, in fact, under normal circumstance, somebody who had ran for a political position was not supposed to become a chairperson of an electoral body. But because they had the power, they had the influence, Ruto said and the Uhuru said it's okay. We believe people are the ones to decide. So nobody should think that Chebukati was leaning on the side of Ruto. Chebukati was a member of ODM and he resigned few months before becoming the chairperson of Electoral Commission. So I can just say, like Ruto, it is only God who helped Ruto to become the president. It is only God. So I would also like to tell Kenyans that the previous judgment that was made on the favor of Raila Odinga had already set the precedence of how the judgments are supposed to be made or what is supposed to happen to IEBC. IEBC had been given the ruling by the court. Go do A, B, C, D. It's like they already had the marking scheme. It's like you have an exam, but you have been given the marking scheme. They were told the things that they are supposed to be done so that the election may not be nullified. They were told about the transparency. That's why they came up with the portal. And I had the Azimio team talking about these people, the foreigners. I don't know from where. These foreigners, they kept talking about the foreigners because of suspicion. What they forgot is that the technology that the IEBC was using, that technology does not belong to Kenya. In Kenya, we don't make any computer. In Kenya, we don't make any portal. We don't make any server. We have nothing that belongs to us when it comes to this high-level technology. Everything was from the foreign countries. Even the company that won the tender to stream the results had to work with the foreigners. So if you are saying you don't want to see any foreigner anywhere, you are telling us we should not stream the results. So we needed these people to come and train our teams. But we, as Kenyans, we have phobia with foreigners. You see a Chinese, they have come to steal from us. What are they stealing? Why can't we steal from them? We steal what they know, the expertise. We steal what they know so that we can know and try to do it. So I saw these people arguing about foreigners, not knowing even the technology that we are using, we have bought it from outside. So we needed the foreigners to come and train our team on how to use those, the technology that we had. So sometimes those are some of the considerations that the judges were making, and they are saying, okay, then how did you want them to do? The whole system is from outside. And our people, you know, even the money for the IEBC was released late. They had no time to take people to school to go and study about the technology that they are going to use. They needed somebody to come and show them how to operate the whole system. And even before they landed like this, Kenyatta was waiting for them at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and arrested the people who were coming to help the IEBC. Kenya is a country of drama. Then after arresting them, Kenyans were not told exactly what was the crime. We were just told that they have solved with the IEBC, they have been released. But they keep on using that to say there were foreigners who were interfering. Nobody said how. They were saying there were sensitive materials. Which ones? Were Kenyans really told about the sensitive materials that were found with the foreigners? They said they were stickers. The stickers that are supposed to be put on the ballot boxes. How does that become sensitive materials? The sensitive materials, according to my understanding, are the ballot papers. If those people were found with some hidden ballot papers on their bags, it would have made some logic. So it is like we were telling the judges, just believe what we are telling you. Just believe what we are telling you, but don't apply your reasoning. No, even if anybody wanted to help, there was no way. There was no way. Even if Raila Odinga was the judge of his own case and his team brings the kind of arguments they were doing in the court of law, he would have shied, especially when there are international observers. I don't know, maybe people did not realize that the observers were there listening to the case. And you know, the case, the way you make the judgments, those judgments are cited in other countries. So you have to set international standards, not just making rulings. No. So if you follow the law and if you follow the procedure, if you conduct yourself in the right way, the international community will talk about it. And that is why you see, after that, the observers and everybody said, we agree with the court. So let Kenyans not be deceived. We have a very effective judiciary, and not effective for William Ruto. If William Ruto will commit an offense, you will see the same judiciary ruling against him. The only hope Kenya have right now is the judiciary, because they are working and they have really tried to act independently. If they get rid of the little corruption that is still remaining, let me tell you, Kenya will be ahead. We will really be ahead. So I am continuing to say that if Ruto is the president today, then there is God in heaven. You know, I was saying to myself, don't think that I'm too formal. No, I am not. If you want to come on the screen and we talk about these things, I am open to that. I was saying to myself, I think God of Ruto is so good. God of William Ruto is a good God. If it was during those old days of the Bible, they would have been talking of God of William Ruto. Because when the system is against you, that we are talking of the police, we are not saying the police had a problem, but because the president is the head, or he is the commander of the armed forces. So what happens in most cases, the president has the power to influence or to order the other systems of the government to work against you. And that is why you heard Azimio saying, this time around, we must win because we have the system. Do you know, don't think that Ruto was not afraid. No, he just said, I will believe in God. I will try, but I know inside his heart he knew it is not gonna. It was not easy. So when you saw the investigative authority, the whole of it was on the neck of those who were supporting Ruto. Any mistake they make, they are arrested on Friday, taken inside. And you know our jails, oh my God. You fight in a jail, there are no brackets, there are no mattresses. You are not fed well. And you know our politicians have money, they eat well. There is nothing like, So it is a tough situation. So when you try to intimidate leaders and try to use the police and the system and everything, and our leaders are corrupt. They are, most of them. It is good we tell them the truth. We have very few clean politicians in Kenya because they go to run for these offices with an aim of becoming rich. Everybody, almost 90 or 90 something percent, they go with the mentality from now, me and poverty, we are like two parallel lines. We will never meet again. So when you tell them, if you don't do what I want you to do, I am going to set the DCI. Oh my God, they freeze. But the deputy president refused all those intimidations. And some leaders believed in him because he was able to show the courage. And that is, I can tell you for sure, even Uhuru Kenyatta does not believe himself. Even now, he doesn't know how Ruto has become the president. Because if it is to try, for sure, he tried. I don't think there are any strong leader who was supporting Ruto has tasted jail, has tasted tear gas, has tasted threats. You heard what the whole governor said, Kiraito Murungi, that I don't think I was there because I wanted. They showed me the files. They had already prepared a case for him and many other people. So if Ruto became the president, there is God in heaven. And for me, when I see somebody, even if that person is not very good, but that person is relying and trusting God, don't tell me that I'm a pastor, I'm not supposed to talk about it. I'll talk about it. Because the Bible does not say that I'll help you because you are good. The Bible does not say I'll help you because you are perfect. The Bible says I will rescue you because you acknowledge my name. When I was seeing Ruto kneeling down and crying to God, crying, somebody in the caliber of the deputy president crying to God, that is what we call acknowledging God. He acknowledges that I don't have power, but I'm trusting there is God. Though I can't see him, there is God somewhere. Then I said, if this man will become the president, after facing all these obstacles have been put before him, if he becomes the president, then many people will believe there is God in heaven. You can imagine all the things he went through. And today, he is the president. Even himself, I know he does not believe himself. I know at night he is trying to pinch himself to feel like it is real. Even Gachagua, you heard Gachagua saying, you mean I am the deputy president? He is waking up in the morning and saying, you mean I'm the deputy president? Me who has been jailed all these times, locked like a dog in a cage, then there is God in heaven. So I normally tell people, don't shy to tell people the truth. Because if I have two people, one is saying, I don't care if there is God or not, I'll do things my own way. I don't care. I can talk about God the way I want. I can do things the way I want. because I have the power, because I have the system. And then the other person is saying, let us trust God. Let us believe God. He will help us. It doesn't matter. Because, sometimes I tell people, we as human beings, we judge people basing on their past life, which is okay. But that is not how God judges his people. Because you might say, oh, Pastor Geoffrey did this and this, so he does not belong to God. He is a thief. He is this and that. But do you know, after that, do you know what I talked with my God? Because the relationship between an individual and God sometimes is personal. Somebody can be a thief today, but that does not mean this person will be a thief tomorrow or forever. God convinces people to change. And I normally tell people, bad people change and become good. And good people also have the ability to change and become something else. When I was looking at the conduct of the president towards his deputy, I was not believing it. It was unbelievable. I knew Uhuru as a very good man, somebody who does not take offense, somebody who does not have grudge. But I saw somebody change to the level of he can't shake hand with the deputy president, his own deputy president. The same person campaigned for him day and night. Ruto was not sleeping to ensure that Uhuru becomes the president. Then you change the mind and you forget about it. I am not saying it was wrong to support Raila Odinga, but why, if he had nothing and he knew his term is expiring, why was Uhuru not bringing Raila Odinga, sit here, Ruto, sit here? You have been together for a long time, and I'm leaving government. You, both of you, why can't you form the next government, and Kenya will have peace? If Uhuru was genuine, that is what he would have done. But because he had his own and personal hidden agendas, he made sure he separated Ruto completely. To me, that was not justifiable. Somebody who stood with him when nobody else was standing with him, stood with him, campaigned for him. The election was nullified. Ruto said we shall go back and we shall get it again. He campaigned for him so much. And that is why I'm telling you here. Good people have the ability to change and they become bad. In the same manner, bad people can change and become good because it's a personal decision. You can decide to betray your friend and you betray your friend and pretend you don't know them. That's the nature of human beings. You can decide to become a good person and say from now, I have changed my ways and I'll be doing my things in the right way. The only person who knows the change you have undertaken is God, who looks or who sees the nature of your heart. So, Kenya, and I tell people, don't lose hope. We are heading somewhere. We are still heading somewhere. Kenya, we are doing good. We are improving. To see that we did not fight, even after the whole of that process, and I'm not expecting we are going to fight. I am not expecting Raila to take 1 million people to go and march to the judiciary. To do what? To do what? Now, do you want to tell us if you take 1 million people to go and march to the judiciary, you still believe in the rule of law? No. Raila Odinga is a good person. He has contributed so much towards the democracy that we have, because every time he takes cases in the court, something has to be changed. But you cannot do good things, then you destroy them. No. To me, that I call that hooliganism. You cannot say that the courts are good only when they rule to your favor. No. That if they rule against you, now they are bad. They should be demonized. No, that's not how let's support our institutions. Let's support our courts, assuming that there was no Supreme Court. Do you know how it would have been in Kenya? It would have been a very, very, very bad. So we should continue embracing peace and talking the truth. And the truth which I have and which I believe in me, then I don't just believe things. I believe what I see. I believe what I research, not what people are saying. I believe by using my own reasoning and judgment. The problem with most of the people is that they only believe what they see written on the social media, what they hear politicians shouting out there, that so long as so and so has said it, that is true. I can tell you for sure, Kenyans, these leaders you see, they peddle a lot of lies. Always endeavor to go and do your own research. Always try to use your own brain and ask yourself, before you hate your neighbor, ask yourself critical questions. Right now, there are people who are in the grave today. So the matters I'm talking here, they are serious matters. There are people who are on the grave today because they did not want Uhuru to become the president. They wanted Raila Odinga. They fought to their last breath. They fought with the police. They confronted police with guns. 2013, some of them were shot, dead. And why they were fighting? They were fighting for Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga and Uhuru, they have been sitting on the same table, eating together for 5 years. Why did they die? They died out of their foolishness, not knowing that Uhuru and Raila, they are closer than they are closer to the person they are supporting. Don't support politicians emotionally. Don't attach your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit to a politician. And this is why I'm happy about the Central Kenya people. You did a good job. It shows how independent you are. Because you don't have to follow the president blindly simply because he comes from your region. You said no. We have the power to think and to judge for ourselves. Even now, if Ruto does not live to the expectation of the people, I know they will do it again. When the election comes, they will say, no, you said this and this and this, you did not do it. That is how, that is what now we call freedom. Freedom is not when you are told by the politicians, jump, you jump. When you are up is when you are asking up to where. That is not freedom. Freedom is not suspending your brain. Freedom is when you are able to make personal, prudent, not just personal decisions, but prudent decisions. Prudent decisions are made by somebody who is able to reason, to analyze, and to judge. So don't say that I act independently. Yes, act independently, but make sure you have the right information. But I see that in most cases, when it comes to voting, we suspend the voice of reason. We just say, this is our leader. So you don't want to think, or even you don't want to listen to what they're saying. So if after 5 years, the deputy president does not perform, it is not a crime to say, no, this is not what I expected. Let me try Raila Odinga if you be there. It is not an offense if you vote for Raila Odinga. He is a Kenyan. The only place I disagree with him is because sometimes he decides to go in an informal way of going to the street and doing all that. For me, I don't like that, especially if somebody will put people's lives at risk. I don't support that. But I know that if one person does not perform to the expectation of the people, try another person. Try another person. That is the liberty that we are looking for as the nation of Kenya. So Kenyans did a very good job. Kenyans did a very good job. Let us trust the process. The process was transparent. In fact, in the world, and I know the observers even talked about it, that many nations learned something from the way the voting in Kenya happened. Our politicians are the ones who caused all the dramas that you saw. But if the politicians did not go to Bomas, if the politician did not cause all those dramas, if the security apparatus that we are going to visit Chebukati at night, if they did not do all those things, and they allowed the process to go to the end without interference, I'm telling you, everything was okay, was going to be very okay. So the politicians, they interfered with their own process, but they want us to believe that the chairperson and the whole body of the IEBC did not do a commendable job. And I was telling people, sometimes I like reasoning to myself. The same IEBC that they are reprimanding, the same IEBC they are calling names, the same IEBC they are saying it has done nothing, conducted the elections for the governors, for the senators, for the women representatives, for the members of parliament, for the MCAs. Even those people who are calling or were calling the IEBC and Chebukati names, their elections were conducted by the same IEBC. The most logical thing they would have done was to say, no, this process was not transparent. So they say nobody has been voted, nobody has been elected. They would have sabotaged and say, for me, I don't want to be a governor through an illegal process, through a process that has irregularities. But don't tell me the process was not credible, yet you are already a governor under the same process. You are an MP. I was looking at them because most of them are the lawyers. And they were the one petitioning. They were the one who were doing the cases. But they were in the office courtesy of the same process. Let's always ask ourselves, why do politicians, why do they take us for a ride? Whom do they think Kenyans are? They think that we don't see, we don't reason. You are telling us the process was not fair. The process was opaque. The process was all those things, big terminologies and big English. But you are in the office courtesy of the same process. That is not being truthful. That is not being genuine. No. We cannot continue like that. That every time elections in Kenya is a matter of life and death. That if somebody does not become, it has to be serious trouble for the nation. We cannot grow like that. We cannot develop like that. But for now, everybody has to accept that this is the system that we have. It is called democracy. The system of democracy is the rule of the majority. That he who has convinced many people is the one who becomes the leader. And you remember, before the 2010 constitution, we have the old constitution. The old constitution just required the simple majority. So if you get someone gets 49 votes and the other one gets 50 votes. The one who has that one extra vote becomes the president. That was how simplified it was. It was that simple. But we said now, let us make it harder for somebody to become the president in Kenya because we want all Kenyans to be involved. That is why we had to come up with the 50%. That is to say, 50% of the total cast votes. After that, you need to have at least 25 constituencies supporting you. Those are the systems that we put to make sure that the person who becomes the president is supported by most of the regions or is having support across the nation to avoid polarizing the nation. And the person we're having was not even having 25. He got 39 of them. So, surely, what are we saying? Let us always know politics is not a matter of life and death, and try to fight corruption so hard, because the reason why you see these leaders fighting so much to become leaders in our country, these politicians, it is because of the stealing that they do when they occupy the office. But if it is the salary that you pay them for 1 million, they would not do it. But they know they will go inflate prices for the traders, get kickbacks. They will go apply for traders and sell air to the government. They pocket billions, and life continues like that. That is why, if we fight corruption, if we seal all the loopholes, you will not see so many people interested with politics. And that is what I would like Kenyans on. Corruption. Corruption in America here is a felony. So if you are caught with the issues of corruption, you are record even in the government everywhere you go. If you have been prosecuted and found guilty of corruption, you have destroyed your documents, your papers. Nobody can employ you. Nobody will give you a job. You have many troubles. And you have prolonged jail term. It's very serious. But in Kenya, the people who are more corrupt are the ones that we reward, are the ones that we praise. And when we arrest them, they only give bribe. So our nation continues to become poor, continues to be poor. We allow the politicians. We are paying them to serve us, but they go there to do business with the same government that they are serving. So they have personal interests. You see, like now, I've been reading and following what has been happening with these issues of subsidies. It is always good to inform each other, because I like following what is happening in our country, though I am not in Kenya. If Kenya becomes better, becomes a good place for all of us, the millions of Kenyans who have run away, who have gone to look for greener pastures, will go back to Kenya. That is why we have been advocating to have good government, to strengthen our institutions, and things like that. So I was saying that if we seal all these loopholes, ensure there are no corruption, and we should keep on talking about it, We have seen even the outgoing government, they were there pretending how they are doing job. They were doing very well. They were performing very well. They were busy working for people. But to my surprise, we were told that the fuel is going to come down after giving the subsidies. Okay, I understand the fuel prices have gone up even here. We are facing a rough time. But don't enrich yourself. Don't take advantage of the process or of the situation, of the bad situation. Kenyans are struggling. But when Kenyans are struggling like that, you see, the former president decided now this fuel sector is going to attract a lot of money. So I am going to make sure I buy the gas stations, the fuel companies, put them under my company, and then get my closest friends. We get we get the other companies, fuel companies. Then we give them subsidies. Surely, that is not how it's supposed to be. In serious governments, like in America, I am telling you for sure, our president Uhuru would be in jail or would be facing serious cases. Do you know President Trump is having cases because of the guests who went and spent nights in his hotels? Just they are paying, but because they are government officials and they slept or they utilized the facilities that are owned by the president, which was not supposed to happen, the president is made to account because he might have influenced them to be using his hotels so that he may make money. So he is having such a case. But we don't see any problem with the president of Kenya even directing the subsidies, the money from the government to his fuel companies. The Kenyans are saying it's okay. No, it is not okay. And we should make it clear to our leaders that when we vote for you, go there because you have a heart to serve. And by the way, some people think I have a problem. I've never had a problem with the president, Uhuru Kenyatta. But I feel bad when I try to do my research and see that the hand of the president is everywhere. In every economic sector, you see his fingerprints. It's not supposed to be like that. Oh, this money. I will ask like a question that was asked by a journalist. How much is enough? For sure. How much is enough? Because for sure, some of these leaders, if we are serious, we should put them in jail. And I was saying, okay, Ruto and Gachagua, they are saying they will let them rest peacefully. But I'm saying no, Kenyans should disagree and say, no, we need investigation because we need to know how the money has been utilized in the previous government. And if anybody has made extra money that he was supposed to make at the expense of the taxpayers, they should be forced to pay and face a sentence. That is the only way a nation can grow. But I see people playing around with the lives of people. And when the deputy president, because he knows, and I listened to Moses Kuria said from because he's already in the government, that when they went there, they realized that only 5 companies that have been receiving fuel subsidy, billions of money, that within 1 year, if they continue like that, within 1 year they would have received 130 billions. 130 billions. Money that is supposed to go to counties and all that. But do we get the value of that money? But I hear people complaining, hey, they have stopped subsidy, the fuel has gone up. Yes, it has. That was the only way. We stop first, we fix it, we know where is the money. Then after that, we plan on how we are going to do. My prayer is that the new administration, that's my prayer, and everybody should observe them and shout anytime you see corruption. Because Kenya is not a poor country. We have people who are extremely rich. And those that are poor are extremely poor. But I hear people saying, Pastor Joyfrey, preach. What is preaching? People don't understand why we preach. We preach to improve people's lives. So if you see people who are destroying the lives of people, that is talking, you have to tell them that is not the way to go. If you don't know, I have voted for Uhuru all through. I have supported him. But how he was doing things, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Because, yes, we have roads, but did we get value of our money? Inflated prices. Inflated. Did you listen? Did you see the presentation of Jimmy Wajigi? He made a presentation and said, okay, I would like Kenyans to see how we have lost billions. You think they have eaten those billions? If we decide to trace that money, if we are motivated by goodwill of fixing our nation, we can follow all those billions. If we are motivated by goodwill, any tender that was inflated, we should sit down and know, yes, it is China. You built this road. How much money did you put there? Because even people in other countries like Tanzania, you had the former president, who is the late John Pombe Magufuli, saying that Kenya have built the same road with money 3 times than what they have spent. Inflating prices. Yes, we have roads that we will pay, even we die and our generations will come to pay. But we are saying that he has done great work. It is not favor. If you give me a job to do and you are paying me, when I do it, nobody should come telling me thank you. In fact, you are supposed to look if I am doing that work the way I am supposed to do. And that is what I would like Kenyans to do. Don't tell us, hey, he has built a bridge. Yes, he is not using his pocket money. He is using your money. It is not a favor. Do you know? Here in America, roads are being built day and night, and nobody is using that to gain political mileage. Roads are smooth everywhere. Parks are clean, and nobody talks about it. No. Things are happening, great things. But for us, when, this drama has to stop in the country of Kenya. When you buy medicine for the hospital, you send people with cameras to show the world, the governors. Our governors, they are very good in drama. With cameras to show the world, oh, we have bought medicine. When you do something, you are not doing us favor. Go perform. Do work in your office. Be busy. At the end of the day, we want to see the result. After 5 years, we are the ones to say whether you did a good job or not. But if every time we are doing something, we have to announce, we have to shout, it doesn't happen. I have visited so many places, other countries. It doesn't happen like that. So these politicians, they play with our psychology. They play with our mind. Sometimes they even keep money. They don't want to utilize the money. They wait until almost towards the end of their term. Mumeona vile. You have seen how they have built roads in the last 1 year. You have seen how services, things were happening towards the end of Uhuru government. So what is that? That is not what is supposed to be done. And in fact, we should reduce direct control of money from the president. And I thank God that President William Ruto, maybe, let me just say, maybe it is the hand of God that has touched him. That he is saying we want the judiciary to be totally independent. Let them be held accountable for not utilizing money prudently. But let nobody, let the executive, let the judiciary perform their duties without interference. That means if we do that, people will have access to justice. The judges will make ruling without fear of favor, fear of intimidation, without fear that the money, if we don't do what they want us to do, they are going to reduce our money. They are not going to release the money. You know, when we continue with such kind of games, our nation cannot grow. Our nation cannot grow. And the human rights, the activists, the media should help the nation and everybody else to focus and to look if everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. All these people in the offices, we are the boss. We are the boss. We have had a case, and I don't know how to put it. Even in the family, we have had a case that took over 30 years in the courts because the judges were being bribed. The lawyers are bribing each other. 30 years having one case, rotating from this court to the other. One case to almost 10 files. So when I talk about these things, they come from the, because it's not supposed to be like that. Access to justice. In Kenya, it is a place whereby you can title of your land. But that title, it can mean nothing because some power with serious connection can take your land, cancel your title, and render it useless, and your land is grabbed if you don't have money, and you do nothing about it. We have to change such kind of things. Kenyans should be tired, and we should not be so much emotionally attached to anybody. Let us be independent-minded. We want to have a good country, not just for ourselves, even for our children. Some people are so much attached with Uhuru Kenyatta. They should not prosecute him. They should not investigate him. Why? Let everybody who has been serving in the government be investigated. And if they have stolen money, it doesn't matter who they are. Let the due process take its course. When we, as Kenyans, we shall say, it is not about who they are. It's not about the tribe they come from. It's about service delivery. We call it competence-based leadership. If only we start holding our leaders accountable, and if they steal from us, we part ways. We say they will only be our friends if they are doing what they are supposed to do. But if they don't do what they are supposed to do, we part ways, even if we voted for them. That is the only time you will see things changing. You saw in the hospital, Pumwani Hospital, you saw patients, women, in the maternity, women sleeping on the floor. Somebody who has just given birth, they have nowhere to sleep. After you have the wood, You are breathing. You are sleeping on the floor. What are you expecting to happen? So we end up losing so many people because of having people in the office who are not performing. People who are just, their work is to steal and taking money outside the country. You know, sometimes I say, why can't we as a nation decide to do serious audit of our leaders, even those who are dead, so that we can build an equitable? When we are talking of historical injustices is all about the people who have kept stealing from the nation. We do an audit and then we do estimates. We know how much so and so was being paid. We know this business is on estimatory is supposed to have made this amount of money. Anything extra, the government takes away. The government should even liaise with other governments across the world to know how much money from the Kenyan people, leaders, how much money is hidden abroad. You know that our nation is very rich. We need to have a leader who will become very hard. Okay, I doubt that the current administration will be able to do some of these things, but it is good we talk about them. You know what I'm trying to do? I want you Kenyans to feel provoked. When you are sleeping hungry in a good nation like Kenya, you should feel provoked when your children are going to school without shoes in the 21st century. You should feel provoked when some places still have mud houses that are made of clay. You should feel provoked when the families are not able to feed themselves. You should feel provoked that around 6 million people have no jobs in Kenya. They have no jobs. The difference is that in a place like America, you can lose a job today, but you have hope that soon I am going to get a job. But in Kenya, if you don't have a job, you try to look ahead, you don't see light. There is no light even at the end of the tunnel. You know, they say there is light at the end of the tunnel. Why? It is because our government, instead of working for the nation, towards the development and the growth of the nation, they just think about themselves. So you see one road, but they have stolen 2 times the money they have used to build that road, not minding how long you take to pay it. They are not the one to pay. Leaders who are not transparent, I have no problem, but it's good we talk about it. Just the other day, it was exposed by the international group that the president of Kenya has billions of money outside, abroad. Then he said, I am coming. And when I come, I will explain about it. Up to date, he has left office without telling Kenyans. That leakage, what was it talking about? What was that Pandora paper? Even now. And we still clap for them and singing Hosanna, Hallelujah. We should stop singing and dancing for our leaders. It doesn't happen here in America. No, it doesn't happen. We should stop praising them so much, because the moment you praise them so much and dance for them and call them great names, they do anything and they take you for granted. They even don't see you like you exist. They don't even care if you sleep hungry. I'm not inciting anybody. But I'm telling you, can you be tired? Be tired with those who take you for granted. Be tired with those who not only for you, but even for your generation. That in Kenya today, even the child that is being born today or will be born tomorrow, they have debt, and not a small debt. Who will help us? The only person who will help us is the one who will say money is not everything, but a nation belongs to all the people, those who are living today and those that will come after us. So I'll do the right thing. Those that are supposed to be jailed, they be jailed. And take the money back to the government. Did you see what the army did in Sudan? They arrested Bashir with the whole of his team and they jailed them. Then they took all the money they had gathered and given back to the nation. I wish that's not what I'm saying that we should do. We are not yet there. But if the leaders continue to take us for granted, it should reach a point where people will say, oh no, we are tired. We are tired of these people. We are tired of these people. Some places, even to date, some places with a high number of people, huge population, people don't have tarmac roads. When it rains, people don't go anywhere. There is no car, there is no vehicle that can enter in some places. But we continue reading, dancing and praising our leaders and as if everything is okay. It's not okay. It is not that we cannot tarmac all those loans. It's because they have pocketed our money. That is why somebody can afford to use millions of money every day. You ask them the prices of products in Kenya, they don't know. They don't know. They don't care. They have money. And that money is your money. You are dancing for them because of the size of cars they drive, because they are right now almost every politician in Kenya is aspiring, is working very hard to buy choppers. I looked at one of the meeting somewhere during campaigns. I thought you would have thought it was an airport because they had over 15 choppers. And you think it's a good thing? It is not. Why they are that extravagant? It is because that is not their money. It is because it's stolen money. We should start holding our leaders accountable. The government that we have is a young government, and I agree we should give them time to organize themselves. But we should open our eyes. And when we see them losing focus, we shout because we have to scream. If we continue like that, we will not have a nation. If we continue like that, we will not have a nation. Because how can you be a leader of hungry people? People who cannot feed themselves? Seriously. How comes you can be a good president, but you can stand on the podium and tell the people, do you know what? In this country, we lose 2 billion every day. But though I am your president, I don't have power. I don't have power to help you. Really? Seriously? There was a problem. There was a problem there. Something was not adding up. I don't know how I can put it. 2 billion, not million, 2 billion every day in 365 days. Multiply by 2. Seriously? So Kenya is a rich nation, very rich. And now we should not just be focusing on the agriculture. Kenya, I believe, has minerals. Kenya has fuel. We should focus on mining our minerals ourselves. I wish and I believe and I trust that the government that has just taken power will focus on that. In Kenya, those people who does mining, I don't know the process, how it goes. Kenyans even don't know. They don't know the minerals that we have. They don't know who are the people who extract those minerals. In Turkana, we have fuel. We don't know what happens. Yani tunateseka, but we have mafuta. We have fuel in our country. But we are crying the price of fuel. And the money that was supposed to be used to go and dig that oil so that we may utilize is going in people's pockets. Ama unadhani mabilioni wanaiba haiwezi tosha kuchimba mafuta na tukue badala ya sisi we are struggling to buy fuel, but we have fuel in our own country. Yes, I know even the Roman Empire was not built within a day, but we should always keep on talking about these things so that our leaders can keep on thinking. We have so many things that have not been discovered in Kenya. You know, some years back, I think it was in the year 2006, I visited Turkana. I went to Turkana and I was looking at those stones. I went to Kakuma, I went up to Rodwa, and I visited those areas. I went even to the lake Turkana. I visited those areas. And yeah, it is a desert, yes. But when I was looking at those stones, the way they are dark, the way they are shining, I was saying, I think there are some things that are hidden below these stones. I didn't know that that what I was thinking about was true. There was oil. So there are so many things we have not discovered. But when we discover them, sometimes because we cannot, we cannot run the government, all of us, everybody. But we have to tell our leaders, be accountable. Tell Kenyans what is happening. Tell Kenyans how much oil are we digging? How much are we selling? And how much money are we getting? And why are we not having enough oil for ourselves? You know, sometimes these wazungu look, they look at us and they wonder what is wrong with Africans. There is nothing we want to do by ourselves. We have coffee, but we take our coffee as raw material to go and be processed in UK. And you'll see UK, after processing and packaging our own coffee, we will say that the best coffee is in UK because it comes back even to Kenya written made in UK. Seriously? You think we are poor? We are not. We only fail. I feel we only fail to utilize our money prudently because there is nothing they do that we cannot do. Imagine sahi venye hakuna, there is no maize in Kenya. You will see that mahindi yenye huku wanatumia ya ng'ombe. Unaona ile mahindi inakujaga Kenya wakati wa kiangazi inaletewa tega thirikari. Hiyo that is supposed to be feeding animals. And most of it is grown through it's a GMO. That's why we will have so many problems. Chakula ya ng'ombe ndio sasa tutakuwa tunaletewa. 50 years, not even 50, from 1963 up to now. Count how many years are those. We are yet to be in a position to feed ourselves. People They still die of hunger and starvation in Turkana and other places. And we are okay. How can I, even if I become the president, and then I visit places where people are dying, cows are dying of hunger, I think I would cry and ask myself, what is wrong? What is wrong with our leadership? That in the 21st century, we cannot feed our people. And we are proud of being the leader of hungry people. And, it defeats logic. When I look at a place like America, it's not that they are doing anything extra. No, they are only accountable. They are only the systems. They have good systems that everything that you pay, it goes through the system so that the government has the money. And those who utilize the money or disperse the money, they are also accountable. So although the taxes are very high, you enjoy the services. Yani unakuta, they utilize. It is not because they are very rich, but they have decided it is our country. Let us do the right thing. And we have to keep on begging, because sometimes we have to beg them to formulate the right rules and the procedures of doing things. You saw the files in our courts in front of the observers, the international observers. I know they were laughing, huh? Seeing people coming with the trucks, and Kenyans were very happy, and they have brought evidence. We need to automate our systems so that we move from the papers. Because surely, if you want to do an audit of books, physical books in the government, how long will it take? How long will it take? But if we automate our systems, it will be very easy to check things, very easy. We must move from this, tendency of doing things with everything physical. You file those papers in the courts. Ninajua wale observers walikuwa na shida. Hawa wako na shida gani? Makaratasi imefugwa ugedhani ni factory ya vitabu. And that we cannot do those things. It is possible. Technology is there. We said our people, the ones the airmen study, we buy that technology and we implement in Kenya. The money they are using for corruption, we can automate all every area of the government. So you see, even the way we collect our taxes, most of the taxes that does not go to the government, does not reach to the government. The taxes goes in the pockets of those who collect. Yeah, we just organize, oh, you're supposed to pay 500. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. You pay me 400, but we write 200. 200 is mine. We have to seal those loopholes. And I can tell you, we have a good nation. See how our children are dying in this Saudi Arabia and these Arab countries. Why? Because they are saying, let me go. If I die, I die. Because even if I stay here, I will die for hunger. That's why they are taking that risk. So wanaenda huko kuuawa, wanaenda huko kufanya kazi like slaves. Most of the people you see going outside, wanalipwa, wengine wanalipwa 20,000 per month. Seriously? If you mean we cannot create jobs to pay our people 20,000? Why can't we create an environment? Because we already have labor. A country like America has the power to manufacture, but they don't have enough labor. But if we create a conducive environment, some of the industries will move from America and they come and manufacture their items from Kenya because people to work are already there. We have a great resource, the human resource. But what do? Our taxes are crazy. I listened to one Mzungu who was running a charity organization in Kenya. And he imported a water pump from America to Kenya to go help our people. But the taxes he paid, he said he has never seen such a thing. He said corruption in Kenya, it's crazy. Leave our own taxes. Before the pump is cleared and it is going to offer services to our people for free. He was talking of how much money he paid. And he was saying, how? What kind of a country is that? Who does that? Yaani mtu amekuja kusaidia, ni kama kwa familia mtu amekuja kusaidia watoto wako, baba anamwambia kabla wasaidie, nipatie pesa. Yaani bribe me to help my children. That is what the government does. Corruption of the highest level in every sector of our government. One day, when I wanted to go to Malawi, and I think some people can connect this because we were a team. We were going to Malawi. We went to Nyayo House. We applied for passports. And after 5 days, they told us, come after 5 days. We went after 5 days. They told us the passports are not ready. But some people were coming with the documents. You see them present the documents right there, and they are told to wait. I camped in Nyayo House for like 5 days, every day going there, asking them my passport. They tell me, come on Friday. I didn't know what they meant. Go organize yourself. Give us money to get your passport. That was like, I may remember, it was when. This was in 2006 there, 2006, 2007. So I realized that because I stayed there, I was going there almost every day, begging them to process because I needed to travel. I stayed there for that 1 week observing what is going on. So people were coming with documents, but in that document, they put money so that they may give the officer at the counter. You have to have an envelope, put money there, then give the birth certificates and the other documents, you give them. Within no time, you will get the same day some people were getting passport. But for me, because I was not ready to bribe, oh my God, my passport took almost a month. So when I got tired and I saw what they were doing, I had to cause drama. I had to cause drama there. And that day is when I got my passport. I hope those things changed for sure. For how long shall we continue like that in our country? Somebody must be provoked somewhere. Somebody must be tired somewhere and say, enough is enough. We cannot continue like that. We cannot continue like that as a country, and we expect to compete globally. No, we will be overtaken. Tanzania will overtake us because at least their leaders have started. Like now, the late Magufuli, you saw how he was. He was a no-nonsense man. And Tanzania was using their own taxes to build roads like the one we are building in Kenya. It is doable. It is doable. It is possible. We can change the way we do things. You have seen what is happening. The governors employing people who do not exist. Drivers. You have maybe 100 vehicles, but you have 500 drivers. I think we should be tired. I wish you people can feel the way I feel. Because I have at least traveled to places where governments are serious. And I have seen what good governance can do to a country. I am not saying we should be in the same level with America, but at least we have places where we can reflect and see where we are supposed to go and how we can look like if we become serious. We should not have excuses. We should not. We should not have excuses why our people should continue sleeping hungry, having one meal a day. How many people in Kenya don't even make 100 per day? $1. 100 is $1 in America. One is $1. 200. Those people who make 300, they count themselves very lucky. Those are $3. Some people, when they visit from Europe, from America, when they visit Africa, they come back crying. They come back with their mind changed. Not everywhere, but some places. If for you, you are okay. If you have money, if you eat 3 meals in the morning, lunchtime, evening, count yourself very lucky. Because there are some people who only eat in the morning or at night and not eating well. It is eating ugali and some strong tea. Sometimes it's just eating ugali with some few leaves of sukuma wiki, and they call it a day. So all of us as a country, those who are in Kenya, those who are outside Kenya, we should team up. And we open our eyes and we look at our leaders without blinking and tell them, no, enough is enough. We have to do things the right way. What ought to be done has to be done. As soon as now, during our lifetime, at least, we should see change to our country. Let me not proceed. Let me not talk so many things. So today was just to tell you that we are back. We are bringing back the other programs, beginning with probably, okay, I'll be in every day from now until the other teams join. We are trying to fix the studio in Kenya and to make sure we'll be having network. You know, it's funny that in some places in Kenya, you'd like to, to stream, even when you can manage to have Wi-Fi, you can manage to pay, you realize that the internet cannot work in some places and not very far from the city. Those are some of the things that ought to be fixed because there are so many businesses, online businesses and all that. So if people don't have access to internet, the young people who are supposed to be working in computers and getting international jobs, jobs from outside the country, we are doing them a disservice. So we have tried to fix the studio in Kenya so that when I am not in the studio, some people will be putting the presenters in the studio and ensuring that there is somebody on the background so that everything goes well. We shall be so consistent. We shall be here. We shall be coming to talk our mind, open our mind, talk to our leaders. So I welcome you. Come back, subscribe, inform somebody that Mwigitio is back. Full force. We had to take a break because I was, what we were doing, sometimes you might think of something which, as you continue, you realize it's not sustainable because it was very hard for me to be in the studio all the time. It was very hard. So we had to ensure we have internet and have another studio in Kenya, so that when I'm not in the studio to put in the presenter, somebody else can do that, so that we can continue like that. The purpose of this station, one, is to preach the gospel. When people become godly and when people know the truth about the word of God, they, God is in a position to help people, even how they do things and even become better people. So the major reason is to preach the gospel. And then the other is to inform people, because information is power. So here we come, here we talk everything, and we talk openly. We talk things out so that we may educate each other, so that we may become better people. So we are not so much focused on making money. No, 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 no. Our desire is if we may touch somebody's life, and then that somebody go and touch somebody's life. That way we feel good. And that is why we say Mwigitio is for all of us. We come here, we talk, and we enjoy. It is a good place whereby we don't discriminate anyone, even when you hear. So yeah, it's okay. Me, I tell people, speak your mind. Don't be hypocritical. If you are supporting so and so, it is okay. Don't tell me, oh, even if you are supporting somebody, don't talk about it because for you, you are a pastor. No. Just, I like people to be open. It's not a crime. I like people to be truthful. Let us train our people to be very open. I have been watching and observing the children in America. I see how they grow up. And I think that is why they are able to think very fast. Because for us, every time we wanted to say something, unakodolewa jicho. Sometimes unagogwa kichwa. Unaenda kuambia mzazi kitu, unaambiwa hauna discipline. Sijui nini. Okay, I'm saying, okay, to some extent we raise our children very well, but sometimes become too much that we hinder them from speaking out. So let us train our children to speak out. And also, even us, we should learn to be speaking out our mind. Why it is today, if somebody becomes corrupt in America, oh, they will not have anywhere to hide because everybody will be talking about them. The American people, they are very open. They are very open. They will tell you as it is. But for us, we don't tell our leaders. I listened to Gachagua when he was talking. Gachagua is a very open person. But how many people criticized him for saying the truth? People say, no, amechoma nini? Amechoma kwa sababu aliongea yale mambo nchi inapitia ati mbele ya wageni. Hiyo ndio, that is how we are brought up in our country, that you have to hide some information. So that is why our people, our leaders keep on oppressing them, but they don't talk about it. They keep doing funny things, we don't talk about it. They keep stealing from us, we don't talk about it. It is the high time. And I thank God because of the social media. Because now everybody can talk and be heard. Don't think they don't listen to us. They watch even the Facebook. When you listen to them talking and giving speeches, you will know that these people, okay, so they listen to us. So, be coming at Mwigitio TV. We shall keep our leaders on check without fear or favor. We shall come here. If any of them does something that we feel is not appropriate, we will talk about it without fear or favor. We will try our level best. And I'm encouraging everybody. Don't say, oh, this is a man from my tribe, I should not talk. Don't allow anybody to destroy the future of your children. Don't allow anybody to destroy the future of our country. Don't. I want us to be so tired. I want us to be so, be angry with what has been happening. When you hear people, they are even able to divide the port services amongst themselves so that they can be collecting money. Money that is supposed to be going to the public. Those people are supposed to be jailed. They are supposed, anybody who has been benefiting from the port of Mombasa, anybody, individual that has been collecting money, that money is supposed to be going to the public, should be investigated. Money taken back to the country, and they be arrested and be jailed for that matter. That's the only way we can set precedents. But how many leaders in Kenya? How many leaders in Kenya? They do unthinkable things. Some of these things, we see them with our own naked eyes, but they continue to be holding offices. We are not serious. Everybody saw somebody like Babu Owino took a gun, shoot somebody, and that person has been lame up to date, not being able to do anything, paralyzed for the rest of his life. But he is still holding an office, and people voted for him after shooting somebody with a gun. And the cameras are showing. So there is nothing like to say we don't know. Investigation. But we continue having such people in the office. In a serious country, such cannot happen. But because we fix our mind to those who are of our tribe, we fix our hearts, our spirit, and our soul to them, they continue taking us for granted. You have seen last general election of 2017, we lost the IT employee, expert of IEBC, Chris Musando. And that case ended just like that. Up to date, nobody has ever been arrested. This year, as if that was not enough, this year we lost Musyoka, an IEBC official. Nobody was arrested. I keep on saying serikali iko na mkono mrefu. Kwani hii serikali ya Kenya mkono imekuwa, it has a very short hand, that they don't know how to investigate people who are killing others? Those are jokes. Such things should not happen. We saw people attack simply because they hold high offices. Nobody, they are untouchable. Our leaders are untouchable. Let me tell you, the people who were supporting Donald Trump, people who held high offices, today they're in jail because of the things that they did. Some of them. So in a country like this one, everybody can be arrested and be jailed. But in Kenya, the law only applies for the poor. But the rich, they play around with their money. It is not if actually their money, our money. How many MPs have ever have gone through the prosecution process and be jailed? We should start, and it's my prayer, because the judiciary in Kenya is becoming serious. It is the high time we start arresting them and let them spend 10 years in jail, 20 years in jail. That way, they'll start now being careful. That way, the corrupt people will start now to think about how they can rectify their behaviors. But if we continue being, sympathetic with those of our own, our country will remain the same. For me, I would say our leaders be investigated. And it's only that somebody told me, oh, that would not work. But we would initiate an audit from the time we attained independence until now. Because sometimes I look at, when we talk of historical injustices, there are people who have billions and billions of money at the expense of the nation. They have thousands and thousands of acres of land at the expense of the nation. And you want to tell me it's okay? Kwani, how much money were they having? We should be serious. But because they are that rich, they come and give us a few coins. They come with choppers and few cars. I mean, with good cars, and we dance for them. When we don't even have somewhere to build a house, but they have thousands and thousands and thousands, and we are okay. We call them one of our own. When shall the people of Kenya say, enough is enough? You have taken us for granted for a very long time. We have become wise. And we say, mjinga akirevuka mwerevu yuko mashakani. We have to start holding them accountable. Oh, hello? Yes. So we shall continue like that. So we will bring back all the Vipindi, all of them, and we shall continue very well. We will not be very official or formal. We will try to be to present ourselves in a way that everybody can feel free to come here and talk. We will give people the platform to talk. That is beginning from today or from tomorrow. We will start to operate regularly, every day, many hours, so that we can help each other. So if you feel there is something you'd like to be doing in this show, you feel you have the talent, you can do something, try to contact me, then we can talk about that. So we are going to be consistent. Even when I'm not in the studio, we have somebody to present us in the studio to continue airing all the channels that we have, and everything will be fantastic. So thank you so much. Today I just came to make some noise here. I like when you talk like that, people start opening their eyes, and you may not know. When you talk, somebody somewhere decides to take a decision and to move in the right direction. So thank you so much. Let us continue supporting the new government and praying for them. It's not easy. Kenyans, we are funny. The government has just taken power. Let me just talk for some time. It's barely 1 week now. But we are complaining. They have not done it. It's okay to complain, but surely restructuring and organizing a government. Not even all the government. If you have ever gone to an organization, you have gotten a new job, and you are taken to an office, and you are told, okay, this is the office, this is where you'll be working from. My friend, it's not easy. You don't know even where to start. But now I see the pressure we are giving to the president. You have not done this. No, we are not expecting him to perform a miracle. Seriously. If you have ever been in a situation whereby you have gotten a job, you have been hired, and you are shown this is the office, and now people are expecting you to perform. Sometimes you even take a whole month not even knowing where to start, as you observe things and knowing how things are supposed to be done. The only advantage we have, or Ruto has, is because he's been the deputy president. But that does not mean that he knows everything. No. And to make the matter worse, the outgoing government was not favoring him. So always there is what we call resistance to change. You may not know what the current government is going through. You cannot make analysis of somebody's performance within the first day after entering office. So I've been hearing people shouting. No, just give them time. They will work. They will work. Let us be hopeful. Let us be hopeful that they are going to work. Let us support them. And we tell them, perform. And if you perform, you add you another 5 years. If you don't, we kick you out. So it is not fair. I have heard people saying everything has gone up. Fuel has gone up. Unga has gone up. Everything has gone up. This is a new administration. We give them time. I have listened to others in Kiambu. They are saying today they are going to have a demonstration. They are going to demonstrate because they have not been paid. This is just a new government. They have just come in. They want to have the head count. They want to remove the ghost workers. They want to know where money has been going. People's payment has been delayed. What has been happening? So restructuring and organizing a new government, a government, not an office. It's not easy. So at least we continue supporting our leaders and wishing them well and praying for them. Let's pray for the new government. When you hear that the president is saying for sure the treasury has nothing, where do you start? Collecting the revenue. So he is waiting for people to pay revenue for him to be able to run the government. And then he don't want to start borrowing because already we have borrowed almost to the maximum. We have, I think, 10 trillion, not 10 billion, 10 trillion debt. But that's why I'm saying they should investigate before even paying all this money to ensure that Kenyans got the value of money. Every tender that was inflated, we should not pay all the money. We should pay according to the value of the service that was delivered to us. So it's not easy. I know it's not easy. I know they are facing a lot of sabotage. But for those people who are wise, whether you are supporting Ruto or not, you should be wishing that your government succeeds. Even those in opposition, don't wait for them to fail. If you see them, they are going to fail in a certain way and you have an idea, tell them what you think should be done. Because if they fail, we all fail. We all fail. If they go in the right direction, we all go in the right direction. We will be proud if Ruto and his team succeed. So we have the work, pray for them, and we trust God that our country will be a better place. And after all is said and done, all of us, we shall celebrate the success of our government. So thank you so much. We will be back shortly. I was testing to see that everything is in order. I love you so much. God bless you. Original,
kimwe original ishige thugo muthago ikorago ire by the way ona kinyo kyao nekomenya uria wikaga ire baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio ona kinyo kyao nekomenya uria wikaga ire baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio. Umenya maithori maitu maiteka thi ukaga ubetage keno ithio nduothe ugekeka ukoragwo ukiumenya maithori maitu maiteka thi ukaga ubetage keno ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio. Wanyina mureire ngoro ugituma nie ngumenye thuciokaga ngathithina ithe watharitio tene. Wanyina mureire ngoro ugituma nie ngumenye thuciokaga ngathithina ithe watharitio tene. Ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio. Ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio. Ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio. Ona gikinyo kiao nikumenya uria wikaga ithe baba ndotaria ndo mutige kirigithanio.
wahonirie ngoro yakwa na honi njega gutire kendo kiega ingĩhoya njage tondũ wĩ mũheani wa indo ciothe njega na nĩkĩo ngoro yakwa ĩiyũrĩte hinya Reuko vengereire negedango menye ninyonete oria wekaga arataku umahi dorageria idamako menye diaro ciao ciode nacione dadime Mondo,
ciothe muthamaki munene wingai munene waita guthathaiya wingai otahotagwo munene wanene wingai wangai ciothe ndaguthathaiya wingai wangai ciothe muthamaki munene wingai wa mutosha muthamaki munene wingai wangai ciothe ndaguthathaiya ndagutugeria ngai ndaguthathaiya ngai wingai wangai ciothe muthamaki munene ndaguthathaiya ndakwenyiheria Shiranero ni uhigagia werire Ifurahimu ni ukamurathima ruciaro rwake ruigane jatasha matu-ine ihinda rĩaku rĩakinyo kimurathima wingai ũtaugũkagwo shiranero ni uhigagia werire Ifurahimu ni yeah. Ngai wa ngai ciothe Muthamaki munene ndaguthathaiya ndakwenyiheria Records Records
amenya nĩakunyanĩirwo athire kĩrĩma kũhoya onanie nĩngwĩrutĩra.
Ogiterwa ne mwari, ogiterwa